Hello, welcome to our ongoing series of sneak peeks into Client Planner and Strategic Planner, our IP cost portfolio planning tools will be coming out in May and June, respectively. So, this week we worked on a couple things. So, on our portfolio importing capabilities, we got Foundation IP working this week, so we're good there. We're working on several others. So, I expect by the time we release the product, for firms, we'll have virtually all the major IP management systems covered from an import standpoint. We also worked on the Client Planner Workbench. So I kind of alluded to that last week. So let's go in and take a look at planning. So this interface has stayed pretty much the same if you're familiar with it. This is looking at your portfolio, your client's portfolio. So we've got two clients here, Acme Corporation, Global Widgets. This is my portfolio, so we can filter based upon the attorney. If you're a paralegal, you'll be able to see multiple attorneys. I want to look at Acme Corporation's forecast or a financial plan. So this is 2024, 116K. I can also drag it out, let's go 5 years, and it's dynamically updated, uses your International Associate fee schedules, your fee schedules, things like that. So that's great. If a client wants to know how much are we going to spend in 2025, 2026, you've got everything you need there based on their existing portfolio. But if they want to know what are we going to spend if we start to actually do some new applications, then it gets a little more complicated. So we've added the new applications tab here. Showed last week, prior year. So by default, we will read all of the applications from the prior year, and all you have to do is just drag that up there, and it will then recast the budget based upon what they did last year. So you can see that in kind of a green here. You'll also see new applications, application from new applications, prosecution from new applications, allowance and grant from new applications. And if we were to extend the timeline out a little bit, we would probably start to actually see, let's go to 10 years, we would actually start to see some maintenance costs kick into gear here. So that's great if the client does exactly the same thing that they did last year, but clients don't always do that. So we're giving you now the ability to create custom filing plans. So you can click this Add Custom button. We read what the client did last year. So they did 90, 91, 92, and then they only did 6 in fourth quarter. Must have taken a long winter break. So let's say the client says this year budget's tight, so we're only going to be doing 10. And so we'll call this the tight budget and save that. And then they say, well, we may have, some extra money. So let's triple it and let's create our optimistic budget. We'll call that the big budget and save that. And so we've now got two plans. So we've got our tight budget plan and our big budget plan based upon our assumptions. If we drag our tight budget up onto the workbench, we can see that our budget is going to go up to 2.2 million for those all those years. We can also zoom in and take a look at just an annual basis here. And then if we take a look at our big budget, it goes up, basically doubles it. So we are going to be working this week on adding some more capabilities here. We don't have an edit capability. We don't have a delete. So we're going to be, adding that. And then within the actual widget itself, we're got a lot of things we're going to be doing here. So some clients will have a target budget that they want to hit. And so we're going to, build in some tools that will allow you to work backwards. So our budget is $1 million in new filings this year or whatever. So you'll be able to work backwards from that. And then we're also going to allow you to sequence this. So, you may want to increase it progressively, year over year. You may want to do certain things in 2024, different in 2025. So you'll see this, be built out quite a lot over the next couple of weeks before we go live. And then this same technology is going to be used for foreign filings. So we've got foreign filing decisions coming up, what countries are going to be filing in, how many, et cetera. So that's what we did this week. Next week, you will see more activity on this new applications tab. Excuse me. And you'll also start to see, some more features on the workbench, additional filtering and whatnot. And then the foreign filings feature will happen the week after next. So that's a quick preview of what's going on. Thanks a lot. Hope you have a great weekend, and we will talk to you next week.